Morning, everyone. I am Frederick Salimi. I am the trainer of Adam Academy. Today, I would like to show you how we customize the generic version of safety concept. If you need to customize your safety concept in your installation or in your project, please contact Dr. Fabian Salimi at Fabian at adep.com or go to adep.online. There is a request form. You can enter what you need, and Dr. Fabian Salimi contact you for preparation of your safety concept training program. So I would like to go very quickly about what is the objective of the safety concept. Safety concept is to ensure that the risk to life, the environmental and asset have been rendered either tolerable or reduced to alarm. Alarm means as low as reasonably practicable. Uh, uh, at that level, we have to achieve to alarm. Safety concept specify measures to avoid exposure to potential hazard, minimize the frequency of hazard occurrence, release of hydrocarbon flame gases, and any other abnormal hazardous events, contain and minimize consequence of fire explosion gas releases of the hazard, provide means of escape and evacuation from such hazards, ensure that the installation shall be designed to a safe standard, and provide a safe working environment for site personnel. So a brief description of principle of inherent safety should be written in safety concept. For example, what we did for intensification, substitution, attenuation, limitation of effects, simplification, and error tolerances. I give you an example. For example, if design pressure of your pipeline is more than operating pressure, so in that case, you are in inherently safety for overpressure protection. So this is something that you will write it in safety concept. What are the exclusion from safety concept? If we should know that a safety concept is not a summary of law, regulation, a specification code, and a standard. It is not a operating philosophy or inspection philosophy, etc. It is not a detailed engineering specification or calculation note or the deviation, content of deviation, or an administration documents like a safety case or emergency case. So updating of the safety concept is a live document and should be updated when there is a change in the design, for example, particularly in the layout. For example, as I give you an example, for example, if you have an explosion result changes based on the latest layout, congestion, etc. If, for example, from field to the detailed design, there is some changes like this, safety concept should be changed, and the final results of the explosion over pressure protection should be written in safety concept. And finally, handing over the safety concept is at the end of the project. Safety concept shall be handed over to company a few months before a startup and shall continue the main document to ensure safe operation during the entire life cycle of the installation. This is very important that operator must have the safety concept updated, and based on that, they will see if there is any modification, etc. They will update the safety concept during the operation phase of the project. Safety concept should give the references to applicable law regulations, safety-related project documentation. For example, in the case of the fire and gas cost dynamic matrix, ESD logic diagram, etc. The documents related to the safety should be given in safety concept. Company specification, if a company have certain specification, should be written there, and international code and standards, and finally derogation list. How many derogation has been done, because there were certain things that company specification requires for certain instruction. In fact, prescriptive derogation should sometimes you want to change the things, so it should be accepted and recorded and auditable. So for as a conclusion about table of content of the safety concept, we cover facility description, hazard assessment. All the hazard assessment has been done, and hazardous identification review like HAZID, HAZOP, SEAL, safety assessment studies like drop object, etc. is a study. Technological risk assessment is if you have done a detailed risk analysis or QRA, it should be the result should be given here. Safety critical an environmental element should be list of system and subsystem should be given in safety concept based on the risk reduction workshop. Layout philosophy should be a brief description of what was the layout philosophy about, for example, wind direction and location of vents, etc. ESD location, where the ESD are located, are they inside of the fire zone or they are outside of the fire zone? That will define the passive protection PFP for ESDB. Description about fire zone restricted impacted area. Fire zone are those areas that normally we divide the installation in different zones, but we should be a sufficient distance between fire zones that if there is an fire explosion happening in one fire zone, it should not escalate to other one. And for restricted area is normally is location, for example, if the flammable gas cloud, it goes up to where, and normally that defines the boundary of the installation fence, that the people inside the installation will be there. Impacted area is those areas around the installation that public cannot install houses, etc., because there might be some effect in case of the explosion there. Safety distances, and this is something that between the unit, between the installation should be there. Hazardous area classification is, for example, we do the hazardous area classification for the definition of type of electrical equipment, or knowing if the HVAC intake of the building are inside the hazardous area. If they are inside hazardous area, there should be gas detector in air intake and with relevant action in case of the detection, confirmed detection. Facility specific hazards. If there is hazard, it should be given there. Emergency shutdown ESD system, depressurization system, flare and vent system, drainage and spillage management, fire and gas detection, and emergency power such as UPS, autonomy of that, escape and evacuation and rescue, and finally personal safety. So all of these things, of course, is for each installation is different. So what we do is we go through this. We look at what the company have, what kind of generic things we want to add, and something there will be something. And if there is any video, etc., we will put it there. And that will be the safety concept during operation, and the personal people will get it. And after that, what we do, the Adab Academy does, they create a team meeting, a workshop, several workshops to clarify the things. And also at the end of 1 year, if it is success, possible interview by the other trainers. Personnel will get certification or skill certification. Workspace. The workspace for safety concept, it is in safety engineering training. There are different workspaces, for example, passive fire protection, active fire protection, etc., fire and gas. But for the safety concept, if we click here, what we do is we put the generic safety concept that I show you in this directory. Client will put all the documents related to safety related documents in this one. And then finally, after several workshops, after the team meeting with the client, we have an approved e-course here. The personnel of the company will have access to this workspace. They can see the e-courses, and if they have any these discussions, they come here and they find, for example, here for principle of internet safety, they come here and they create a new discussion, for example, about, what is, for example, about storage. What is the principle of inherent safety? And they insert the document, insert a file, a document, and they say, I am asking this, and then the storage principle of safety. Okay, so when you save this, you see here, it will be created here, and inherent safety, and this people can go there here. Or some, this is what I wrote it before about institution and what is the effect, etc. And they come here and they add a document, their installation, and they say we are not inherently safe, and there is something what we have to do, and then we guide them what will be the emphasis about active protection, passive protection, etc. So this is a discussion, any discussion, for example, if you see here, there is fail safe. For example, I created this fail safe, and the client can give the answer to this. So this is about the discussion about the safety concept, all the topics, etc. We also at the beginning we write all the section here. For example, if we say fire and gas detection, this section of this we will start it, for example, today, and we finish it in 2 months or 1 month. Then uh, this. And this you see here, it become, if we put it like this, we will see the planning of all of this thing. For example, a section about ESD, ASD system. For example, if I say I started here and I finish it by in 2 weeks, so it will create here. For example, today, and I do something wrong, but if I put it here, copy, it finishes at this time. So believe me, this will be okay. So because I cannot waste a lot of time on this, you can write the deliverables what you have, and manage this. There is a possibility of web link and calendar and contact of the relevant people here, and this will be here, and all the people of the company, they have an account, and they can change the password, their photos. They have an Outlook for all the actions that goes to this Outlook, and they can do it, and they have the possibility of team meeting here, schedule the meeting, and do the planning for the or workshop for the safety concept training.